I had this English professor in college who commonly described books and poems as, quote, taking the top of your head off. He meant that the book was particularly mind-expanding in some way. Applying that phrase to music, so many songs transport me to another place, a higher place, somewhere all the trappings and troubles of reality are left behind. It's like dropping acid without the actual acid. And this song takes the top of my head off stronger and more completely than any I've come across. This is Head On Pill by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and right now, it's the best song ever. Hello friends, my name is Neil and welcome to 4-8 Music. I take Philippians 4-8 seriously, so on Best Songs Ever, I'm examining songs that hit my emotions in that special way that only a good song can. My opinion is just that, so I'm not saying anything definitive here. Please feel free to disagree with me, and if you do, you're not wrong. King Gizzard are, I'm pretty sure, not human. Stu, Joey, Cookie, Ambi, Lucas, Eric, and Cabs must all be Time Lords, or some other alien species that exist outside the space-time continuum and thus aren't bound by its rules. How else would you explain that they just released their 26th album, and they've only been together for 14 years? Less than a decade and a half. Averaged out, that equals about 2 albums per year, which is already a ridiculous pace, but it gets even more bonkers than that. In 2017, they released 5 albums, and then in 2022, they again released 5 albums. 2 of them were double albums, and 3 of them were all released in the same month. Even more amazing than that is this: all of them are some level of good. Well, almost all. But back in 2013, King Gizz was significantly less bonkers, more quirky and eccentric than reality-defying insane. Their first album, 12-Bar Bruise, had come out a year before, and it's a fun slapdash of noisy garage rock with the gleeful disregard of the volume needle. Their second album, Eyes Like the Sky, came out 6 months later, and it almost doesn't count as an album at all. It's more like a short audiobook set to spaghetti western music. Clearly, King Gizz were still figuring out what sound worked for them, and they were having fun in the process. Their third album, Float Along, Fill Your Lungs, happened then, and it's there that King Gizzard really arrived, in the same sense that Pink Floyd had arrived when they released Metal. Head On Pill, the lead-off track of that album, gives away the game from the very beginning. It's 16 minutes long, the longest song King Gizz has done up to that point, about 4 times longer than anything from their first 2 albums. And it takes up most of side 1 of the vinyl. It's also the best song on Float Along, Fill Your Lungs by far. It starts with a way overdriven guitar playing the main riff with the head-on section. This riff just grabs your attention and doesn't let go. When the rest of the band kicks in, the volume level is so over the top, so monstrously excessive. King Gizz was, at least in the early years, living by the ethos, more is better, and even more is even better. Head On Pill is not the kind of song you can have on the background while you fold your laundry, because your clothes will remain a jumbled mess of fabric for the entire 16 minutes. Then the lyrics start, and I really can't sugarcoat it. They're about being high. And not just high, like really, really high.
Am I driving okay?
I think we're parked, man.
The message of the lyrics isn't being high is so cool, drugs are cool, you should totally get high, blah 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 blah. That's not what King Gizzard does. They're not a message band. In fact, the only things they really feel comfortable telling someone they should or shouldn't do is not to wreck the environment and not to watch Fox News. Instead, you get the picture that the songwriter was just really high when he wrote this song. Just yesterday, I sat across from my legs. They weren't connected to me. I couldn't see because my eyes weren't in me. Hold me up straight while I screw my head on. What? After about 3.5 minutes, the song shifts and the tempo goes up. That's where we really get into the meat of the song. In the Pill section, the band charges through several motifs, switching back and forth between them seamlessly for about 12 minutes. There's this one. This one. Oh, and this one's great. And don't forget this one. Oh, and don't forget this one. All 12 minutes of Pill feature a sitar, the instrument of choice for when you want your music to sound trippy, druggy, or otherwise psychedelic. There's also a section where the guitars take a breather, and it's just the rhythm section of bass and 2 drum kits. Also at about the 9-minute mark, one guitar starts making a siren sound. It's rhythmic to the music, but it's like the amp is broken or something. And it only lasts about 30 seconds and then they're on to something else. Whenever I listen to it with someone else present, like in the car or something, I start thinking, oh my gosh, what if they think this is annoying? What if they think my taste in music is annoying? What if they think I'm annoying? Oh my gosh, they're gonna hate me.
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
Oh good, it's over. They're still okay? Whew, dodged a bullet there. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I know, it's a weird name, you gotta get past that. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard are known for a lot of things, not the least of which is their jammy, improvisational nature as a band. That starts with Head on Pill. Before they started diversifying their sound and taking their music into all new areas and genres, they were known as a heavy psychedelic rock band that also starts with Head on Pill. And they're known as a fun-loving, easygoing group of chill dudes, and you guessed it, that starts on... well, it actually starts back on Willoughby's Beach, or maybe right when they got together, but you get the idea. Head on Pill is my favorite King Gizzard song, and that may not seem like a very big statement, but it gets bigger when you consider just how much I adore all of this band's music. And just how much music they have. Again, 26 albums in 14 years. And while I love them all, alright, almost all, Head on Pill just does something to me, man. I actually don't listen to it all that much, since 1, at 16 minutes it's kind of a time commitment, and 2, its effect on me is very strong and very precious. I don't want to cheapen it by overusing it. The effect is that transportation I mentioned, and a melting off of all the dross I've collected since the last time I listened to it. It's one of those songs that lifts me up to a fuller height, makes colors look a little brighter to my eyes, nature look a little more beautiful, and humanity seem even more marvelous than it already does. It reminds me that the world is full of possibilities, and I'm free to take as many of or as few of them as I want to take, and that God is all around, in everything, in everybody, and in me too. Sometimes you can't love something until you see someone else loving it, so thank you for listening. This is YouTube, so you know the drill. Like and subscribe, and I'm not just saying that. There's no better way to help me get my video in front of more eyes than everybody liking and subscribing, so it's humble thanks in advance. And if you love this song too, King Gizzard, or just music in general, I would love to hear about it in the comments, so please comment below. And if you do, please say nice things, say true things, and always be kind. God bless and rock on.